Dr. Heather, and I want to talk to you guys about the difference between your Piriformis Syndrome and true sciatica. So, as always, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. And if you are a current subscriber, thank you always so much for watching. And I do hope, as always, I can provide the best content possible for you guys out there through education, knowledge, and also to showing you some new ways and inventive ways that you can heal your pain naturally. Okay, so like I said, I want to talk to you guys about Piriformis Syndrome versus sciatica, because a lot of times we don't know the difference between the two, and we want to kind of have a better understanding of what's going on. As always, I have my friend here, Mr. Super Skeleton. So we want to kind of go over the anatomy of essentially where the two are and how they're going to affect the sciatic nerve. So I'm going to turn my buddy around. We're going to take a look at the back side now. And we're going to go through some things here. And also too, you're going to see I've provided a diagram in the description below. So go ahead and take a look at that as well. So guys, as you know, here is our lumbar spine right here. Here is our sacrum right here. All right, so now first thing is, when we look at sciatica, we look at the L5, that's your fifth lumbar vertebra, and we look at the sacrum in terms of known as S1. So it's your L5, S1 kind of nerve root. Now the sciatic nerve comes off of that nerve root. It comes here down in towards the butt, runs down the back of the leg, splits into two, and then comes all the way down to the big foot, to the foot itself. And usually true sciatica pain will also, it will go past the knee into the foot, could cause some foot drop issues as well, where you're feeling like you just don't have that muscular strength. Now, the sciatica nerve does come back here, like I said, towards that butt area. So in our butt, we have our glute muscle, which is made up of three muscles: glute max, glute med, glute min. But there's another little guy that's in there, which is known as your piriformis muscle, okay? So it does attach itself right in this zone here. And as you can see in the diagram as well, that's pinpointing exactly right where it is, kind of deep in there. Now, for majority of us, our sciatic nerve, I should say, does run either through or under that piriformis muscle. So with that being said, when we feel like we're having sciatica pain due to the fact that this muscle is a little bit more irritated, maybe it's a little bit tighter, we're going to feel it more into that glute area. Sometimes we can feel some pain radiating down the leg. It may not go all the way past the knee. It may just kind of stay in that zone. So there's a big understanding that we need to have in terms of, the sciatica pain does come off the lumbar spine. And a lot of times, we will have a combination of back pain and leg pain when dealing with the sciatica irritation due to a disc injury, or what's going to happen is you'll just have that leg pain. If the leg pain is not going away after, pretty much doing some soft tissue work to the area, doing some stretching and things of that nature, that's when we do want to get more of that medical intervention and get a study done like an x-ray or an MRI to really kind of start seeing what's going on at that spine, what's going on in that soft tissue area, so we have a better understanding of how to further help you. So just understand that the stuff we're going to talk about today when dealing with more of the piriformis muscle in terms of how to really stretch it out, the fact that it does irritate the sciatic nerve, just note that if things aren't getting better, do go check with your primary care physician, do see your orthopedist, or if you have a good sports chiropractor like myself, check in with them, because you may need further study done to really kind of see what's going on at that nerve root, because we won't be able to address that with our naked eye. So like I said, guys, that's the difference between the piriformis muscle and kind of sciatica pain. Now what we want to really address is, well, what are some of the things we can do to alleviate that piriformis muscle from irritating that sciatic nerve, creating that sciatica-like pain, so this way we can at least try to get back to activity. So that's what we're going to look at first, guys. We're going to start looking at the soft tissue bit first. We're going to address that with the foam roller and a massage ball, and then we're going to look at some stretches you can do to help that area out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put in a few corrective exercises where we're going to look at taking tension out of that piriformis muscle. So this way now what's going to happen is instead of the piriformis muscle engaging, your glute is going to start to engage more, which is something that happens a lot in runners where that piriformis muscle gets irritated. A lot of times there's a little bit too much external rotation of that muscle, because if you didn't know, the piriformis muscle actually controls internal and external rotation at that hip, at that ball and socket joint. So if there is something going on at the hip, a lot of times it's going to create some irritation to that sciatic nerve. All right, so like I said, I want to start with the soft tissue bit first. So that's where we're going to head next. So now what we want to do is look at how to deal with that piriformis muscle, what steps to take next by starting with some soft tissue. So I'm going to grab my foam roller because we do want to start with the soft tissue bit first. So I'm going to place my foam roller down on the ground. I have demonstrated this in other videos as well, because the piriformis muscle, like I mentioned, does control internal and external rotation of the hip. So we do want to go ahead and make sure it's not putting more tension on that sciatic nerve, creating more pain, more discomfort than necessary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit on my roller, cross one leg over the other, lean into that side, and then nice and easy, I'm going to go ahead and just dig out that piriformis muscle. Right off the bat, this position will put tension on that piriformis muscle. So if it is really tight, you're going to feel it the minute that you kind of go over that area. Now, if the roller isn't strong enough for you and you want some more intensity, you could take a massage ball and use that, a baseball, and you could place that right there, right on the center of the glute, and allow for the soft tissue to get massaged out that way as well. And all you would do is just sit on that ball. You could still cross the leg over on one side, lean into it, and once you find that spot, you can go ahead and stretch it out there. Now, once you've broken down the tissue, we want to look at stretching out that piriformis muscle as well. Now, a lot of us may not be able to go ahead and do certain things on the ground, so we could also do certain stretches standing. So what we're going to do first is we're going to look at doing a classic pigeon stretch, which is really helpful and really good for the piriformis muscle. So what we're going to do is we're going to come first down onto the ground, just like so, and we're going to go, the easiest way to get into this position is actually to be in a plank position on outstretched arms. So we're going to come down, we're going to come here onto outstretched arms, bring the leg up and in, so it's actually making a figure 4 position. Then we're going to allow that back leg to like relax itself. If your piriformis is really tight, just even in this position, we'll feel that discomfort. If you can, get the butt down onto the ground, get the butt down onto the ground, and then walk the arms nice and easy forward, allowing yourself to fully come down here. Now, granted, this position may be hard for you to get into originally because of pain and discomfort. So if it is, there's another way we can modify it. So the other way we could modify it is actually using a TRX. So we would come here, we're going to sit on the ground, just like so. We're going to make that figure 4 position, just like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull ourselves up a little bit. So I'm putting tension on it. I'm allowing my right knee to really push itself out. And right off the bat, I'm going to feel that stretch happening. So I have my chest out nice and high, pulling my chest up into the straps, adding tension onto that piriformis muscle. So I'm going to show it again. I'm going to show it with the left side. So I start with my feet here, just like so. Chest is out. I cross my left knee, my left leg over my right. I bring my body up, and I just hold in this position, and I can really feel my piriformis being stretched by using the TRX. So right there, those are 2 ways to do some nice, easy stretches to your piriformis muscle. So what we want to do now is we want to look at really kind of now, how do we stop that piriformis muscle from engaging so much? How do we get it to shut down? And what can we do further to really kind of prevent that sciatic nerve from getting irritated in that piriformis muscle? So I'm going to show you a very basic and simple exercise that you can start with that only requires you to use your foam roller or a yoga block or a deflated ball that you may have at home. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down onto the ground. we're gonna lay on our back, okay? We're gonna place the foam roller in between our knees. So now the first thing we wanna do is we're just gonna hold and squeeze here. What that does initially is by just adding pressure to the foam roller, placing pressure, or I should say, pushing our small of the back into the floor, it kind of allows now our spinal stabilizers, all the small little muscles off the spine to engage, allows our core to engage, also allows our hips to reset themselves a little bit, taking them from that external rotated position and now getting them a little bit more squared away. So what we're going to do initially is we're just going to hold and squeeze first here for 30 seconds. Then the second part we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, as long as there's no pain or discomfort while just holding for 30 seconds, so with our feet nice and flat, we're going to come up and we're going to lift up into a bridge position and come back down. Notice that when I come up though, I am not all the way hyperextending my back. What I'm doing is I'm focusing on keeping my back in a nice neutral position, squeezing my butt, squeezing the back of my legs, and coming down. I'm maintaining and adding pressure onto the roller as I do this exercise here, but all I'm doing is nice and easy, taking my butt and lifting it up and down in this position. Now, as long as there's no pain or discomfort there, what you could do is you could try to go ahead and do a single leg activity. So we're going to take the foam roller, we're going to place it off to the side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try to get our glute to fire a little bit more. So we're going to walk our feet in closer. We're going to put one leg straight up in the air. From here, pressing the small of the back down, pushing up and down in this position, allowing the calf, the hamstring, and the left glute to really engage as we go up and down. Again, this would be an exercise you would want to do as long as you're not feeling any intense pain as in your low back, in the butt, you're not feeling any radiating pain down the leg. So again, first part is we would start with just our foam roller in between our knees, hold and squeeze here for 30 seconds, resetting the hips, allowing for the small of the back to really kind of focus on stabilization. As long as there's no pain here, trying to lift the butt up and down in a nice easy bridge position. And again, if you're not feeling any pain or discomfort, you could take it to a little bit more further advanced step, taking the roller away, placing the leg straight up, and then doing a single leg bridge up in this position. So there are just a few little simple exercises you could start to do to kind of go ahead and get that piriformis muscle from over engaging and really allowing itself to relax and starting to get the glutes to fire a little bit more. Again, if you're having this issue and you're not quite sure if it's true sciatica pain coming from a real disc injury off the nerve root level, or you're wondering if it's just a simple little irritation to your piriformis, drop some comments down below. Happy to discuss it with you further. And like always, guys, if you're wanting to try to take it a little step further and really start understanding how to fire off your glutes a little bit more, because you're feeling strong but want to have a better understanding, check out the video on the weak ankles, because there I do start to talk about how to really allow for that glute to fire, how to work that kinematic chain from the foot all the way up, because a lot of times if you're experiencing the piriformis kind of discomfort and you're still trying to run through the pain or kind of the tightness that you're feeling, you could be altering the gait a little bit, which means then you could be irritating the shins or the calf a little bit more. So do take a look at the weak ankle video as well. Again, if you've gone ahead and liked some of the material that has been presented in this video today, do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't currently subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button as you see down over there. So guys, this is Dr. Heather. This is really kind of just more or less understanding the difference between Piriformis Syndrome and sciatica pain and the things you could do to help relieve yourself naturally of that piriformis muscle engagement. And like I said, if you have any further questions, drop some comments down below. And as always, this is Dr. Heather. Have a great day.